Hey, what's going on YouTube? Irish Thunder here. I'm just going to do a video response to Never Enough Ammo's video on truck guns. So I thought I'd go ahead and throw in my opinions and my thoughts on it. A truck gun to me, or a vehicle gun, usually to me is a long rifle. I'm a concealed carry permit holder, and so I carry a pistol every day anyways. I look at my vehicle gun usually as a long gun to deal with, not always, but usually I look at it as a long gun to deal with, something happens, the chink comes invade, zombies start sprouting up out of the ground, out of the graveyards, whatever, what have you, but usually it's a long gun I look at as a way to deal with a personal defense, situation. As you'll see with my vehicle gun choices, not always, sometimes in a hunting perspective. But anyways, I've really got, for me, I've got two requirements, I guess you'd say. Two things I'm looking for in a vehicle gun. In my truck, I've got a single cab. Keep the gun, I've got to keep the gun behind the seat. I look for some, how do you say this, smooth-sided. I don't want a lot of stuff hanging off of it, stuff that can snag, and get caught up in something if I'm trying to pull out. Because, God forbid I have to pull it out in some kind of defensive situation. I want to be able to grab that gun and get out and get into action quickly. The other thing is I want a gun that's easily replaced. None doesn't mean necessarily really cheap, but something that, especially like right now, something that you could find, that you'll be able to go out and buy without too much hassle. And obviously, something that's not too crazily expensive, because obviously it's gonna be sitting in your vehicle all day. I don't know about y'all, but if I have a vehicle gun in the car, it's serving purpose for that day. It's not staying in there. It doesn't stay in there the whole night. It comes in at night because people go car hopping. They break into your car at night, steal your stuff out of it. I don't want my gun being used in a crime. Also, no one wants something of theirs stolen. You know what I mean? And having a firearm stolen, I've never had to deal with it, but I can only imagine how, scary of a thought that would have to be, knowing that some scumbag asshole has your firearm, and you don't know what they're doing with it. You don't know if it's being used to harm someone, whatever. So, keeping that in mind, obviously, a tricked out AR-15 isn't going to work. Especially right now, an AK, any really semi-automatic rifle, is not going to work, because you're not going to be able to replace it, easily. And especially right now, they're insanely expensive. So, if you've got it now, you don't want to lose it, because you got it for, like me, I got my AR-15s year ago, 2 years ago, before the craziness, and if I try to replace the AR-15, one of my AR-15s right now, I have one I paid $800 for. It would cost me probably upwards of $2,000 now, just to get the base rifle, at a gun show around here. So, brings us to our first one. This is my vehicle gun. Probably about, I guess, 7 or 8 months out of the year, at least. Pistol grip Mossberg 500. Keep it loaded with double-aught buck, but I also carry a good mix of ammo. When I have this thing, I have slugs, always, about a box of birdshot, and more buckshot. Obviously, this is just straight up personal defense weapon. Pistol grip shotgun like this. You're really not going to hunt with it, but I've actually taken on rabbit hunts, and it works. It could get you some small game. you get close enough to a squirrel, this will definitely knock a squirrel out of a tree. Could definitely get you some small game. I haven't tried hitting a bird. I suppose you could. It'd be pretty difficult though. Like I was saying, I carried double aught buck in it. I carried probably about 10 more rounds of double aught buck with me, 10 slugs, and about a box of birdshot. Reason being, double aught buck's probably my favorite defensive loadout of a shotgun, if the situation permits it. But this brings us up to another point on vehicle guns. Is if you have to use your vehicle gun in a defensive situation, there stands a good chance that you might be engaging someone in or around vehicles. You might have to shoot through a door or a windshield. Double aught buck, I haven't really researched it. I don't know. I could see double aught buck going through a windshield pretty easily, and engaging someone through a windshield. But I don't know, if I had to fire through a door, I'm sure it would work. But I'd rather do a slug select drill, throw a 1 ounce slug through a car door, to engage that person if need be. So that's why it's important to carry a good mix of ammo. I've got $5 at Walmart. Who makes it? Allen. They make the buttstock sleeves to put on the buttstock of a fully stocked shotgun to carry shotgun shells, and they also make they also have the shotgun shell pistol belts, and I carry both. In the sleeve, I've got 5 rounds of double aught buck. What I can do with that is I can throw it on this wrist right here. Bam, whenever you're using a shotgun in a defensive matter, you're always working with the gun, so you're shooting rounds. I can pull it off that sleeve and keep the shotgun full. Obviously, though, 5 rounds in the gun, 5 rounds on the shotgun. Probably is going to be all you're going to need. Probably more than you're going to need, but no one's ever been in a gunfight and wish they had less ammo with them. So I also carry one of those 25 round belts, just throw it in the vehicle as well, and that carries the remainder of my buckshot, slugs, and my birdshot. And gives me a good option of rounds to use if need be. So anyways, like I was saying, this is generally what I carry in my vehicle. Paid $130 for this, did all the work myself, cut down the barrel and the stock, and did a rather crappy restaining job, but it's actually not too bad. Definitely not great though, but it works. But yeah, I paid $130 for the shotgun and turned it into this, and it works quite well actually. It patterns well at 15 yards with double aught buck. Now, come September, when dove season rolls around, my buddy will call me, during dove season. I won't say all the time, but I get at least 2 or 3 calls during that first season. I can expect at least throughout that season after work. Hey man, I'm running over to my parents' house. We're running over to this dude's house. Let's go dove hunting. And so I carry this in the truck with me. With my bird, with my dove vest, with a couple boxes of shells in there, so I can get at least one bird. Anyways, no. So yeah, I carry my dove vest. A couple more boxes of birdshot, and then I still carry the buttstock sleeve, and the belt with slugs and buckshot. And I don't carry it in this configuration. I take this long barrel off, remove the plug, throw that in the vest, and then I pull the barrel off this guy and put it on here. The reason being is if I have to pull this out as a defensive shotgun, it's short, it's short, and I have the time, if I'm going hunting, I have the time when I get to the field to take the short barrel off, slap the long barrel back on with the plug, and put the plug back in, and go hunting. Whereas if I need the defensive shotgun now, I need it right now. I don't have the the minute it takes, the 30 seconds it takes to swap barrels. You know what I mean? So, but it's again the sort of double duty. I use it to shoot doves. Shoot doves, and then again, worst case scenario, I have a gun that can still handle personal defense. Okay, so shotgun, great option for a vehicle gun. However, when rifle season rolls around for deer, or if I'm working in an area, or I'm doing a lot of driving in areas with hogs and on land, throw my Marlin 30 in the truck, and that becomes my my vehicle gun. 30 obviously a great deer rifle, a great hog gun, and not a whole. I mean, it's starting to catch on. I've read a few articles or talked to a few people who share the same opinion, but a 30 lever action is a great, makes a decent personal defense weapon in the pitch. Okay, it's got 6-round capacity, which is better than most of the bolt actions. It's shorter and quick to bring into action. You can work that lever pretty quick and get shots on target. And 170 grain 30 slug is definitely gonna really ruin anyone's day. It's gonna have no issues. Punching through vehicles, in and around vehicles, gonna have no issues with that. So 30 lever gun, definitely a solid option. And every pawn shop in America pretty much has either a pump action shotgun or a lever action rifle sitting on their shelves for a reasonable price. Haven't pressed 30s or shotguns recently, but I may be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I wouldn't think that the hunting style shotguns or 30 lever actions are getting too crazy in prices. I expect them to be a little more than they should be, than they were before. But so I don't see why you couldn't pick up a 30 for less than $350, or a Mossberg shotgun for less than $250. Like I said, for this field model, I picked it up for $100, and for the pistol grip, I picked that up for $130. This I paid $225 for. So, goes back to easy gun to replace. So those are the long guns that I have that I use as utilize as vehicle guns or truck guns. I have on order, and it's been on order for about 2 years now, a Kel-Tec Sub 2000 in that takes Beretta 92 magazines. That's my wife's carry weapon, not her carry, but her vehicle weapon. Going back to what Never Enough Ammo was saying, being able to use the same rounds in two different platforms, in your long rifle and your handgun, is definitely an asset. But then, if you even go further and you can use the same magazines, it makes it that much better. The Kel-Tec Sub 2000 folds in half. It's compact, and then that 16-inch barrel launching the same 9mm 40 round out of a 16-inch barrel compared to a 4 or 5 6-inch barrel. You're getting that much more velocity, that much more energy. I'm starting to look. I carry a Glock 23. I'm starting to look. I think I may pick up a Sub 2000 to take the Glock 23 rounds. Definitely liking that idea. So, but then, like I said, with the 9mm, at least, I've seen the Glock 23 Sub 2000s on GunBroker fairly often. I haven't looked lately. But that 9mm, that would be hard to replace, but at the same time, I'd be willing to take that chance just because, in my eyes, it's an outstanding vehicle weapon. So we've talked long guns, Never Enough Ammo, touched a little bit on pistols. Like I said, I carry a pistol every day anyways. But if I was going to carry a pistol as a vehicle weapon, I've got two choices, and I'll go ahead and show you my first one. Glock 20. Like I said, if you're going to be engaging people with your vehicle gun, stands a good chance that you're going to be around vehicles and engaging someone that may be using the vehicle as cover. Go back to the famous Miami shootout, FBI shootout. That's when the FBI decided they needed something that would punch through a vehicle to arm their agents with, and that's when they experimented and went with ended up going to shortly, but ended up going with the 10 millimeter because it would reliably punch through windshields and had the penetration to where they could engage people in vehicles. So in my eyes, I mean, that makes it the perfect vehicle pistol, I guess. Truck pistol, handgun, I would say. 44 mag, would do the same thing. I'm sure that would make it a decent vehicle cartridge, but how practical is that? They're big, heavy revolvers. I mean, you could get a short barreled, light framed. I think Taurus makes one, a 44 ultralighter. I don't know the model number. I looked at one, but then you're thinking, you've got to think, snub nose, lightweight 44 meg is going to be no fun to shoot, and your recovery time between shots is going to be, kind of crappy. This Glock 10 millimeter, Glock 20, I've got a 15 round magazine. I've got two more. That gives me 45 plus one rounds of 10 millimeter at my disposal to deal with any issues. High quality. I use double tap ammunition. I'm using their 230 grain equalizer loads. I would have no qualms if engaging someone using a vehicle as cover with this pistol, or engaging someone in a vehicle if need be with this pistol. I think this will do the job quite well. Now, I've talked about, I've said a few times now, vehicle gun, engaging someone in and around a vehicle. And then this one's going to throw you for a little loop. Taurus Judge, and I've actually used this as my vehicle gun before for a while. Obviously, you're not going to have much luck. It's not an ideal weapon to engage someone in a vehicle with this gun. 410s are not going to punch through a vehicle's door. More than likely, they're not going to punch through the windshield either. 45 long Colts loaded hot, yeah, I could see that. So I don't look at this as a weapon to engage someone in the vehicle. I look at this as a vehicle weapon for when I'm in the vehicle. 410's obviously not a great personal defense round. In a standard, in most typical situations. However, where I think the Taurus Judge shines is as a vehicle gun and obviously a snake gun. Because if you think about it, you're sitting in your driver's seat, and someone comes to carjack you, rob you, whatever, and you use a handgun, you're shooting not even a yard through your window. And I think we've all seen the videos on YouTube where they've demonstrated that at those ranges, 410 PDX rounds or the Winchester PDX rounds, or I really like the Federal, what was it, triple aught buck, I guess. Great personal defense rounds, especially at those extremely short distances. I load mine up. I've got PDX rounds in it. They perform pretty well right now. I read an article in a magazine a year or two ago. These are decent. These are some of the better rounds you can get for your Judge or your 410 caliber handgun. But I want to say the rounds that came on top as far as muzzle, or as far as untie my tongue. The rounds that came out on top as far as knockdown power were the Federal triple aught buckshot rounds. I like these though. These I want to say were a close second or third at least, but they had a fairly decent amount of energy. Nothing compared to your standard pistol cartridges, but obviously you can only do so much with 410. But the PDX rounds weren't bad. But I carried with two 410 rounds. The first two shots are going to be 410, followed by three 45 long cold slugs. So, anyways, that's my video response to Never Enough Ammo's video on truck guns. Hopefully, this video wasn't too long and boring for y'all. But thanks for watching YouTube. Y'all shoot safe, and I'll catch you guys later.